All right, welcome back to Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks. I'm Vinny.
I'm Dylan. Today we're going to look at it's fairly evident, Bob is tanking real bad. So we're going to take a look on if this is a buying or a run for your life moment. So, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, we're gonna look at the chart a little bit and see if we can find other levels of support where we think the stock might stall on this, downfall. If you guys enjoy this kind of entertaining stock market content with Two Stupid Guys Trading Stocks, by all means, we'd love to have you along on this adventure. So like and subscribe below. With that, we'll get to it.
Two Stupid Guys Trade Stocks.
All right.
All right.
Pissed.
Yeah, he's not having. I'm gonna assume he's not having a good time. But I guess you can't be too sure here. So obviously everyone knows, Baba absolutely getting hammered. We've done a couple of videos where I've pointed to supports, and because of the recent news, the big support that we're all looking for only put up a very mild fight.
That's scary.
Very mild fight. So we're going to take a look at kind of what's going on. Go and hit nexties.
Yep. Yeah, this is the lifeblood of value investing to a degree. People are pretty fearful, and makes you really want to be greedy at that time.
It is. I did buy more when it hit 128. Did you buy?
Yeah, I picked up another 10 shares down at like 112 or 111.
Okay, that's real good.
Yeah.
How many shares you at?
So 65 in my main account. I think I'll have 100 total between 3 different accounts.
Okay, I'm at 100. It's half of one of my accounts now. So
nice.
Yeah, pretty tempting. But yeah, I put this in here because this is what Vinny lives by. So it's one of those moments.
Always try to live by those ethos.
So what's going on with Baba? We actually, I'm not going to go into the whole delisting. Is it going to be delisted? All that stuff. We have a whole video on it. Vinny does an excellent job explaining the kind of all the fear that's going on. So everyone knows Diddy's going to be delisted. If you have any questions, they're all answered in that video.
Yeah, we'll try to answer it there.
So Baba had disappointing earnings.
They did.
It wasn't terrible. It wasn't good. It wasn't terrible. They probably underestimated JD a little bit. They're definitely taking some market share, but they didn't have the big pop in earnings that you were hoping for when they're down like 70% on the year or whatever it is.
Yeah. I mean, they still grew 29% in terms of top line revenue year over year, but they are projecting forward 23% year over year revenue growth now. That was kind of like the major step back, if you will.
Right. And then we also kind of do a whole thing on this in the delisting video because they kind of go hand in hand. But there's been a lot of delisting talk, and basically there's a requirement by the SEC to have documentation that it is not owned or controlled by a government entity in the public accounting firm's foreign jurisdiction and must submit your books to the PCAO. That's a big sentence.
Yeah.
So we kind of go over that as well. But basically, China doesn't super like having transparency with their books. There's some ways around it, but they're not super cool about that. So
yeah, depends on who you believe. If you believe the Hong Kong Secretary of Treasury, then they are actually working with these folks at the PCAOB. But according to Gary Gensler, U.S. SEC chairman, not so much.
Yeah, and if you just type in delisted Baba, like there's just a million articles right now.
Yeah,
so many articles. Some are saying it's inevitable. Some are saying it's going to happen in a week. Some are saying it's never going to happen ever. So it's all over the place.
Exactly. All right, let's go to the chart and see if we can find some actual new levels of support here. It's kind of crazy. Like, what is this? 3 years, somewhere in that ballpark?
Yeah. So I'm sure this looks very overwhelming. I'm going to explain this in a second. This is 2016. Okay. So we're way back here. But the reason, before I delete some of this, I wanted to look at these green lines. So our price is here. We're at this green line. Okay. Now, what this is showing is it's basically the volume of shares being sold at the price. So basically this you could argue is the fair value-ish right now for Baba. Okay. We are way down here. There is not that many shares being sold comparatively to, way up here. That's all this is supposed to show. I'm going to get rid of this now so it's not confusing anyone else.
Jeez.
Okay. All right. So let me zoom in real quick to this really fun week we had.
Yeah, it's down like 16 or 17% in a week, I want to say.
Yeah, we're having a great time. I made these supports bigger so everyone can see them. This was the big one, but it really did not hesitate that much. We put up kind of a fat doji here, not really too good, and we are just boom, tank city, dude.
Yeah.
Look at that volume.
I mean, I'll be honest. It looks like a compelling short to me, at least on the short term here.
So I would go the opposite because the RSI is below 20. Every time it dips below 20, it usually puts up a mild fight. And we're extending from the 9 EMA. That's this pink dotted line here. But this is a problem. And the reason why I was zoomed out on that chart so much is because, Vinny, where's the next support here? Like where? I hear this is 2019. We're not even down there. All right. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
We have 2016. That's where we're at. So the last time we put up a major support, it's at $85 and $104. That's our next two.
Okay.
If you'll notice, I'm gonna zoom back in here. We had it like every $10 or so. We had like some big supports. There's a $20 gap, and that's also 20%. There's nothing here. Like we don't have anything else in between this. In my opinion, this is always subjective.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely very concerning that if we break through this 104 level, I mean, so far 110 held, so we'll see.
Yep.
Hopefully that maybe might be a bottom. Who knows?
Yeah, and this 104, this is not exact. It's because it's so zoomed out. It's more like 103 through 107.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a range. Because I had to zoom out 5 years to find it. So, but yeah, that is where we're at. I would really like to know. You can zoom out, man. I'd really like to know. You buying, you selling, you running, where we're at, because I bought more and I'm a little bit nervous.
So did I. So we'll see. I might actually have to sell something to buy a little bit more at this point in time. We'll see.
I now own 2 companies, Vinny.
They're complete opposite ends of the spectrum too. You have like
I have 800 shares of Fubo and 100 shares of Baba.
Well, it's been a fun year for that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I wish you still had it up. My portfolio pretty much just looks like a guy going down with a ship, and I'm just holding on. So,
yeah. I kept thinking
gonna
that
see
scene
what
in
happens.
Titanic where the captain goes in and just like holds onto the steering wheel as the water waves come in.
Yep, he's outie. Yep. So I'm kind of sitting there. Let me know where you guys are at, if you're planning to buy, sell, and if you have a price where you're like, this is madness, I got to get out of here. I would like to know what that price is, just for my own edification.
Gotcha. All right. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Later.